Hey everyone, my name is Chloe and welcome to the start of another vlog style wrap up. So this one might be a little bit shorter because you guys, it is Wednesday and I just finished my first book last night. So there's that. I don't know what is the deal. I just feel like I'm not in the mood to read at all lately. I don't know what's going on. I just don't have like the mental focus or something. So the book I'm going to tell you about, I was like really enjoying. Like 3/4 of it was a 5-star book. So there's no reason I was like hesitant to pick it up, but that's just kind of where I am. So the book that I finished last night was The Perfect Daughter by DJ Palmer. So this book is so good. So this book was about this woman named Grace. She gets a call one day that her daughter is in the prison or in jail. She has been accused of like brutally murdering her biological mother. And so she goes and we learn that Penny, the daughter, has dissociative identity disorder, which is also kind of known as multiple personalities. And so, one of her more sinister personalities is supposedly the one that did it. Penny has no recollection of that day, but she was found like with blood all over her hands, like very clearly did it. So the book is mostly Grace, and then I forget his name, but Penny's psychologist trying to figure out, can we do the insanity plea? Was she actually guilty? Like, what is going on? And so I love that. And the dissociative identity disorder, DID is what they call it, so just a little bit less of a mouthful, is a very controversial diagnosis because, it's like, are there actually different personalities that truly one does not know what the other is doing and one cannot be held responsible for what the other is doing? Or is this person a sociopath that has these different like coping strategies and just kind of uses it to manipulate people? And so like the whole time I'm like, okay, did she do it? Is she just like a master manipulator? She's like a teenager. I think she's maybe like late teens, not an adult yet, but it's like, what is going on? Did she actually do it? Did she not? Like, what is happening? And so you learn a lot about potential motives of her. There's a lot of kind of red herrings of what could have happened. And you get little bits. Like, she mainly has 4 personalities. And her like most sinister personality is the one that is most present while she's being held. She's in like a mental hospital, but that's like for criminals. And so that's where the majority of the book takes place. And I just thought it was so interesting. So at about 3/4 of the way through, it kind of slows down and becomes a little bit repetitive. Like we kind of have heard the same kind of things over and over. And then the end happens, and the end is like fast and furious and almost like it's one of those thrillers for sure that just like shows you everything, kind of like mouth vomits everything onto you of like, this is everything that happened. This is who's who and what situation and all of that. And that doesn't necessarily bother me, but there's one storyline that I was like, okay, so that was clearly just a red herring. Like the wrapping up of it was like, meh. I didn't see the ending coming, and I should have. Like this was not one of the endings that it's like there's no way I could have ever seen that coming. You could have seen, like, if you would have really thought about it, I think you could have guessed it, but I did not at all. So it was really good. I gave it 4 stars. It was not my perfect thriller, and like if it would have just ended differently, and if that like 3/4 mark would have been edited just a little bit heavier, I think I would have really liked it. Definitely some trigger warnings. This isn't like super duper graphic. I can't handle a whole lot of gore. This is like, there's some graphic nature, but not super graphic. I don't know, kind of, it's hard to draw that line for other people. So maybe watch some other reviews and see if you are like a hard pass on graphic content. There is death and killing of a pet. There's just child abuse, neglect, all these different things, lots of different trigger warnings. So definitely look into it. But I am like really wanting to read more of DJ Palmer because the writing style was great, except for that little pacing issue. And overall, I really liked this book. So yeah, that is what I finished. Then I picked up What's Not to Love, and so far so good. It is a YA about two young people who compete with each other on everything. They both write for the newspaper. They're both trying to get into Harvard. Like, they compete about everything. And our main character, she is like the very stereotypical brown-nosing geek, and she just like has to be the best at everything. And he kind of is just like messing with her. And so it's like a rivals to lover kind of situation, because they are asked to plan the 10-year reunion for the high school class 10 years ago. So they're having to work together to plan that. And, yeah, so far so good. The beginning, like the setup was really interesting, and I was really loving getting to know our main character, because like she goes to school with food poisoning just to not miss a test, because she's competing with him on this test. So it's kind of a hard sell for me on like that strong of competition to lovers, because I feel like when you get that competitive nature, like it's kind of hard to get away from that, I guess. And it's really easy in relationships to end up like scorekeeping and that kind of stuff. So it's kind of a hard sell for me, but we'll see. I'm only halfway through. It has kind of slowed down here in the middle. But it's funny, like they're trying to plan this 10-year reunion, and it almost feels like they're trying to plan a wedding, because they're trying to do venue and music and all this kind of stuff. So it's kind of fun. So that is it. Today is a hot day in Kansas. It's like going to be 70s and 80s and like upper 80s for the next week or so. So who would believe that we had snow last week? But I am like considering, you guys, chopping this hair. It has gotten so long. I have not had a haircut since right before Annie was born, just because mom life, self-care, it's hard. And today is one of those days where I'm like, okay, get me the scissors. I'm going to chop it. But I don't know. So I'm either going to do that, or I'm going to start doing the curly girl method, and see if I can get the curls to be less frizz, more like nice. And so, we'll see how that all works. But that is everything. I will check in and let you know when I finish, this next book, and hopefully it's not like the end of the weekend, but you never know.
Everyone, it is Thursday and it's like 11:30, but I have finished the next book. But I forgot to say in the opening yesterday that this is going to be a vlog of all new releases or upcoming releases, depending how many I get done. I don't know. So The Perfect Daughter, I think, came out April 20th. And then this one that I'm going to tell you about comes out April 27th. So by the time you see this, both of these will be out. So what I finished was What's Not to Love by Emily Wimberly and Austin Sigmund Broca. That is a mouthful. So I've seen so many people like spout out their names like it's just natural off their tongue, but not me. So I finished that book, and I'm going to give it 3 stars. So this is a hate to love, rivals to lovers kind of situation about Allison and Ethan. So like I said yesterday, they are both very academically gifted and kind of top of their class, and they are rivals. They compete with each other on everything. They both have hopes of going to Harvard. They both work for the newspaper, and they spend so much energy trying to mess things up for the other one. So then they are given the task of planning a 10-year high school reunion. So they have to work together on that, and the juxtaposition or like the comparison between that and planning a wedding I thought was really fun, but that part kind of took a back seat. And I mean, that was going on in the background, but it was really their relationship, and also the discussion around how much can you trust your high school self. So if you get in this relationship, how much do you want to put into that lasting forever? And just all of these different things about like, how many decisions can you make at 17 that are going to last a lifetime? And what's your perspective and what's your priorities at that time? And I really liked that discussion. However, as a romance, I was not into it because they were just so ugly to each other, you guys. They were terrible to each other. And so even like as they were starting to get close in a relationship, it was like, this is just not for me. I am not a huge fan of enemies to lovers anyway, but this one I feel like just took it a little too far. So as a romance, not my favorite. Allison has a sister named Jamie, I think is her name, who went to college and all of that. She's much older, went to college, and now her fiance dumped her, and so she's back and living with her parents and kind of having like a quarter life crisis. And I want her story, and I loved like her parts of the book, and so I'm hoping maybe that there will be like an additional story about her. I don't know. So 3 stars on that. Like I said, it should already be out. And so then next I started Anna Kay Away by Jenny Lee. I just read Anna Kay, and I did not really love that at all, But the problem was, it's just like rich kids doing rich kid things and having a lot of cheating, drug abuse, all that kind of stuff. And just the angst level was super high and the attachment level wasn't quite there for me. But in this one, Anna Kay kind of had a rough ending at the last book. And then this time she goes back. I can't remember where in Asia they're from, but she goes back there. And so I'm hoping to see more of that culture and less of just the culture of like rich kids doing rich things. So I'm hopeful for this. And now that I've taken a little break and I know a lot of the characters, and like I said, there were some big things that happened in the end. So maybe it'll be better. I will check in tomorrow for sure, because today has been crazy, as you can probably tell from the state of my house. We had dance class. Jeremy's in Kansas City looking at a house, and so we put in an offer really fast. Like, we've got to be the first offer, and la-di-da-di-da. It's just stressful. So then I've got a meeting at 1, and we've just got a lot going on today. So I probably won't do any reading until tonight, so I will update you tomorrow.
Hey everyone, it's Friday, so I just about finished Anna Kay Away, and this is a sequel, so I can't really say a whole lot about it, except yes, Anna does go to Korea, where she's from, like where her family is from, and her dad's trying to encourage her to spend a year in Korea, and she's like, I don't know if I can, I don't know what to do, like I don't speak Korean, and she meets a K-pop star, and so I think that's really fun. She doesn't know he's a K-pop star, so I kind of like that, like their friendship and their romance starts with her not knowing who he is, and so I really like that. That was fun. That's the storyline that I cared the most about, but I would say that I liked this one better than the first, just because you do already know the cast of characters. There's additional characters brought in, and we don't see everybody from the first book, but if you like the first book, I would definitely say you'll like this one, but if you're just meh about the first one, I think you'll kind of just be meh about this one. So that's where I'm at. 3 stars on that. That one came out the 26th or 27th, so both of those days have happened. So this is definitely turning into a new release vlog as opposed to an ARC vlog, and that's okay. So I am clearly in my nightgown. It's like 5 o'clock, but I took a nap when the kids did, because we have had a back and forth with the offers on a house the past 36 hours, and we finally like just said, okay, we're done. We're throwing in our hat. And so that's been really stressful, but that means like then I was just able to nap and not worry about it, and so that felt good. So beautiful day outside. Gonna stay out here for a few minutes and then make dinner, and the kids are playing with a water table and they love that, so that's a great thing to do. It's here on the deck while I make dinner right in there. So that's the plan. I will check in tomorrow and let you know what I start, or maybe tomorrow, but I'll let you know what I start and whenever I finish it. Hey everyone, it is Sunday afternoon at like 4 o'clock, and Ainsley just got up, and so we are going to watch church now, and I just thought I'd get on now and let you know that I'm like 3/4 of the way done with The Newcomer by Mary Kay Andrews, and so far I'm liking it. Like, I loved the first half. The first half is like a women's fiction about this girl or woman. She has custody of her niece, and she is on the run because her sister has been found dead. And so her sister had said, like, if something happens to me, because her sister had some drug problems and stuff. So she said, if something happens to me, don't let my baby daddy ex-boyfriend have her. Just take her and run. So she did. So she is at this motel in Florida, and she's like got found family there. This woman that owns it is really sweet, and then her son is a cop, and they've kind of like taken her and this little girl in, and I loved the first half. The only thing I had to complain about the first half is they're on the run. Like, she still has her phone, but has turned off location, considered getting a burner phone, but didn't, but did not change her name, did not change anything about her appearance, and her sister and she both are actresses. So are you really on the run? I mean, but if you can let that part go, I was really liking it. Well, now the baby daddy like has a hitman out after this woman, and so it's really turned in the mystery. And Mary Kay Andrews always does this mix of romance, women's fiction, and mystery, and I feel like every book I say the same thing with her, of like, it's almost just too much, you know. It's too much that right now I'm kind of getting lost in the weeds with all the mystery, and it's like I'm kind of being taken out of the story, and they're all pretty long. So
I don't know. I feel like it could be pared down quite a bit in maybe 2 of the 3 genres or something, and I would like it better, but that's just my personal taste. I thought I would get on and let you know where I'm at with that in case I don't finish it tonight, because I'm planning to finish it tonight, and then I'll get on tomorrow and let you know my final thoughts, and then try to edit and post this tomorrow. But if something happens and I don't finish it, I wanted to get on here and say that's what I'm doing, that's what my thoughts are, and so you would at least have this if it does continue into next week. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. So if you have read Mary Kay Andrews, let me know your thoughts on her. I loved the first half of this book, loved it. And I think I still will enjoy it overall. I'm just really kind of getting bored here at this like 60-70% way. So I'm going to stop recording because if you can hear, there's neighbor dogs barking.
Hey everyone, it is Monday, and so I finished The Newcomer last night. And it was exactly pretty much everything I thought yesterday when I updated. So it was good. It was like just that mix. If it works for you, I think you'll love this one. If it doesn't, this is just very typical of Mary Kay Andrews. So there is a lot of mystery, a lot of drama, a lot of romance, a lot of women's fiction, and this woman. And like I said, I love the found family element, and there were definitely parts that I loved. I just wish it was a little bit shorter, and the whole conglomeration is not bad. I don't mind it. It will always be kind of a 3.5 star for me, I think. So yeah, those are my final thoughts, and I will close out this vlog now and start the next one. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful week.